Do you have what it takes to become a software localization specialist? Coming up. Hello and welcome back to the Freelanceverse. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for coming back to the channel. This is the second episode of Knowledge November. All throughout November, I have guests coming on the channel to talk about their expertise, and today is actually a specialized episode. Specialized is back. We talk about software localization. Highly requested specialized episode, one that I'm also kind of intrigued by because I used to work in IT and software. So this is also a kind of a special one for me. I have three very knowledgeable experts on the channel that will talk about their professional career, academic career, what got them into localization, especially working with software. And we have three, even within the specialization, we have three quite different profiles. So it turned out to be a very fruitful conversation, which I hope you will enjoy. But first, before we get into it, as always, thank you very much to MemoQ. The specialized episodes are always sponsored by MemoQ. They're a huge supporter of the channel. I appreciate it a lot. If you guys are in the market for a tool specifically for freelance translators that helps you improve translation quality, increase productivity, and to meet tight deadlines, then MemoQ Translator Pro is exactly for you. Make sure to click the first link in the description that leads you directly to their landing page. Now let's get into the video. So welcome back everyone. It's time for another specialized episode, this time on software localization. I have three experts on the channel with me today. I have Sarah, Simona and Katrin. Thank you all for joining me today. As always, we start with a quick introduction. So if you could tell the viewers a bit about yourself, how you got into this industry, what you do all day. Katrin, would you like to start?
Okay, so it's just, I am Katrin. I am from Estonia, and Estonia is a tiny nation between Finland and Latvia. And I have done software localization for several years now. I started as an English Estonian sworn translator. I have academic background. I am a lifelong learner. I have learned in university law and theology, and also translation.
Very nice, thank you. Simona, would you like to continue?
Yes, yeah. Hi, I'm Simona. Actually, I didn't plan to become a translator from the start. I graduated as a Bachelor of Engineering, and then I decided I just wanted to explore the world and travel around, and I used my technical knowledge and my English proficiency to start offering translations on a freelance basis. And at some point, ExpressVPN, a VPN provider, reached out and hired me for their software localization. Back then, they were just starting. They had only the French version set up. Their boss was French, and so she had taken care of the French version, and the good thing about German is that German is always one of the first languages they start to localize. So they got me on board from the start, and I worked with them for about 10 years. So that's how I really grew into the software localization, website localization, app localization. And so I didn't study software or IT related topics, but yeah, you just grow into it, and I've been responsible for other platform translations since then, and I think it's just a lovely topic to work on because you always see the results, you can see the app or the platform, and it's a steady workflow. So I've really enjoyed working in a software localization industry since then.
Very nice. And we have Sarah.
Hello. I'm living in Berlin in Germany, so German is also my mother tongue, and I'm translating from English and French to German. And I also did not study translation or IT in the first place. I studied English and French to become a language teacher. At that point, I knew that I wanted to make something with languages. I knew that probably teaching wouldn't be what I wanted to do all my life, but well, I just tried it. And then I met a friend who was a translator and got curious about it. And she helped me get an internship at a translation agency in Dublin while I was still studying. So I was there for 3 months, and there I also, more or less by accident, got into software localization. Because before I knew that I was thinking about becoming a translator, but I didn't know anything about the translation industry, and I thought that maybe I would end up translating books or something. But this agency was specialized on mainly IT and marketing translation, software and hardware related stuff. And I've always been interested in technology, especially the software side of things. Like as a teenager, I spent some time being in a software support forum helping people. So it was like, yeah, well, this is something I already know about. This is something I'm apparently good at. And there, of course, I learned everything from using CAP tools to how to set my prices. And it was really a helpful time. And then I had this agency as my first client when I came back. And then I always stayed in that area. So, yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, it's like a circle closing. You were interested in technology, then you studied languages, and then you combined the two, right? That's really nice.
Yes, because like I hadn't thought about it before, but then it just fit perfectly.
Okay. And then, of course, using the agency as your first client, that's brilliant. I did exactly the same thing. That's where networking comes in, right? Simona, I'm intrigued that ExpressVPN reached out to you. How did you manage that? How did that come about?
Well, back then Upwork wasn't the way it is now, and I was on the Upwork platform and I had good reviews already.
Really?
And that's how, yeah, back then actually most of my till now long-term clients I found on Upwork back then, because like companies who would start localizing their content wouldn't know where to search for freelancers, and so they like there were very few technical experts on the platform, and my combination of the linguistic perspective and the technical one like stood out, and so it was very easy for me to find clients there. It's not the same anymore. I wouldn't recommend Upwork now. It's very tough, even with my I have a solid profile, and it's been there for about like 12 years or so. But I think people now just look for cheap. It's not the platform where they're looking for experts anymore. They don't even have that search criterion anymore where you can choose between expert and medium and beginner. So they changed their I don't know how they sell their platform, I guess. But back then, that's how many companies discovered me. So yeah, I think it was luck as well. So because yeah.
You were there probably at the beginning of Upwork, it sounds like, right? I assume they exist for about 10-15 years. So that if you are at the right moment, at the right spot, right, that's when you can reap the benefits. So that's brilliant. Now, Katrin, what are some areas that you specifically work in software localization? What can people imagine? What do you work on?
I work also via agencies because our Estonian language is so small. So my main work is for global IT brands who localize into tens of languages via the big agencies who provide this localization in multiple languages, and Estonian is one of these. And thus I translate everything they need translated around their software. It means the user interface, the buttons, the menus, the descriptions, the help texts, and also around IT there is a legal and marketing part. It is legal terms and conditions that we never read when we put them mark somewhere, but they have to be there, they have to be translated, they have to be correctly translated. And also all kinds of marketing texts. It's like they have to sell their software, they have to tell us how good software is, what it does. And it's actually, yes, it's different. Like when it is in the user manual that explains to user what can you do when you have already bought it. And there is another style and another way of telling things when you are telling this marketing way. That we have the great software, you can do this and this. And also there are there are many different kinds of marketing channels today. So I have also translated video subtitles of a marketing video, and it has also been in this software translation project. It's everything around software.
I see. Okay, so not actually only the back end, not only the code, but everything around the whole.
I don't translate code. I translate the stuff that the people see, that they see in the when they use the software, when they read the information about the software.
Okay. What about you, Sarah? Is it similar to what Katrin said? What you work on and who your clients are?
Yeah, I think more or less. So it has also varied quite a bit between the years. I'm mainly working for translation agencies, but I also have some direct clients, though I have lost some direct clients during the pandemic. There was a time where I was working with a team of 2 colleagues, and that was really nice because we were working for direct clients as 3 people, so that there was always one person as a translator, someone as a reviewer, someone who was organizing the project and the communication with the clients. And that was really enjoyable. But sadly, our 2 main direct clients had more or less to stop marketing to Germany in the pandemic because of their budget problems and changes. So now it's mainly agencies and 2 other direct clients, and I would say mainly the direct clients or end clients I'm working for are business-to-business software companies. So, for example, event management software, I'm doing something for a provider of payment management software, and I'm often translating directly the user interfaces, sometimes help documents, but a lot is about marketing text for software companies. So translating their websites, translating surveys or the newsletters to their clients, or something like white papers about cybersecurity aimed at other companies who are buying the software and who are trying to figure out which software is best for them. But sometimes I'm also translating apps or software for consumers. Like for some times I was translating for 2 different dating apps, which was a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
So it varies a lot, and that joy about it, that I learn a lot about different areas.
Yeah, exactly. And now that you mention it, of course you specialize in software, but then every software has a different purpose. So you always have to kind of get into this world of, let's say, the dating app or the payment software, right? So it's always different topics. I imagine that's quite exciting, and you learn a lot in that job as well.
Yeah, and sometimes I also feel it difficult when I tell someone, oh, I'm working in the IT area, and then I have to specify a lot because I don't do coding. Like, I could not translate theoretical texts about programming or about programming languages. And I also do not know so much about the hardware side of things. I could translate some more general texts about this, but nothing very technical. That is, again, a completely different specialization.
I see. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. And that's good that you're transparent and you tell the client right before you get into trouble, because I think it's tempting for some people to accept jobs that they're not qualified in, and then that can end really badly. So that's good on you for telling the client that. So what I hear then, Simona, you are probably then the most technical here among us, right? You have an engineering degree. How is it for you? Do you know? I imagine it's probably quite a tricky and quite a difficult specialization. Are there any common problems that you encounter, common traps that someone who's not specialized in would struggle with?
Tricky question. In the beginning, well, the industry has changed a lot. In the beginning, clients used to trust me with the code. So when I actually had to translate in the code, then that's when they needed someone who knew about programming and the technical perspective. Now it's more about understanding the products. Let's say if I translate the VPN user interface, and as my colleague said, we usually don't only translate the software, we also translate everything that goes with it, like the help articles, blog articles, and everything the users would actually need to use the software. And now it's more about that technical knowledge. Like I have my specialization in technology, but it's not like I know everything about technology. So let's say when I started working with the VPN provider, then I had to really get myself into the VPN topic. And now if someone comes and wants a user interface for their machine translated, maybe it's a laser printing machine, I'm not an expert in, there's so many fields, so many technical fields. So I still have to get into topics, and I still, that's the tricky thing. And also, the user interfaces will be used by experts. They will realize that if it isn't properly done, or if I use terms, I don't always do technical things. I also do a platform for that works for restaurants. And so that wasn't my topic at all in the beginning. I had to really get into that. And I used to use consistently a term which is correct, but there is another term in German. And so they said our clients, our customers are being confused because you're using a term that's different to the term our customer support is using. And so you have really have that direct contact with people using the software, and you have to make sure they will actually understand, if there is a button or an option, they have to understand what this actually does. So I think the most tricky thing is to keep it correct and technical, but to also make sure that the user will actually understand their options in the software or what every part of the software does. So yes, and of course the tricky thing is always when you start working for a new client to get into their product, understand the solution. Sometimes we don't even get to see the software working before we have to start localizing it. So it's very hard to translate without knowing every feature, having used every feature. So that's also a tricky one, and sometimes it's tricky to make them understand that that's actually important. I sometimes have to fight for, give me a demo, at least 1 hour, show me how the software works, and it will be a lot easier for me to translate it properly. That's also a tricky aspect.
I can imagine, yeah, especially if you have, let's say, if you have a lot of buttons, that they would be very short, out of context phrases, right? So if you just have them in an Excel or something, you have no idea. How should you address the viewer or the reader? Should it be active or passive? Is it a link? Is it a form to submit something? So I can imagine. Katrin, how is that for you? Do you often face this problem, or do you usually have the UI of the tool you're translating for? Or do you have to ask that from the client?
I mostly do not have UI. Fortunately, I don't have to do software translations in Excel. They are always in a CAT tool. The CAT tools are different. The biggest companies tend to have developed their own CAT tools. So every new project, new big end client means learning new systems, new CAT tools. And the biggest concern is the context. The context and the terminology, as Simona told, that when you have the word, you can have several possible matches, but you have to use the same match on the button, in the help text, in the marketing text, and so they have huge term bases, and I very much have to rely on the term pages. It is not enough that I know how I could say this in Estonian. I have to look in the term page and in the concordance search how they have translated this term in this company, in this product. It is always. And about the context, mostly with these projects that I am working with, they have some place with a written context where there is written, whether it is a title, it's a button, it's a description, because it's like in English, it's like the same word can be either a title or a button, but in Estonian, there is a big difference. I mean, we use one form for a button, then we tell the computer to do something, and another form of the word for a title.
Also, you know how much space you have, right? Because I know that in German, often the target can get longer. So if you have a button, you can't go that much longer in the software. I don't know how it is with Estonian. Is it also longer usually?
In Estonian, sentences mostly are longer than English ones. I don't know, we have longer words and we have more endings added to the words. But actually, I have struggled more with these character limits in subtitle translation. I have been in one project where we had to review the screenshots after the translation, and it's again, like everyone has its own system. One system was so that first we translated without knowing the character limits, and then they created screenshots, and then they sent these for review, and then we had to give them feedback that this was too long, this is not right. So yes, it's different for everyone. But how about the others? Do you struggle with character limits, or how is it with German language?
Yes. Yeah, I would say that it's very often a problem. And it also depends on the client whether they can or will adapt, for example, the user interface, for example, the size of buttons. But I already also had it that there's no way to adapt anything. And sometimes it's almost impossible for German, or you have to make weird abbreviations of words.
I think you have to develop the courage to not stick to the source. Like, you just have to come up with a creative solution that communicates the same, but is not the same if you would translate it literally, because German absolutely loves to break the design. Our language is just so lengthy. And also what Katrin made me think about is that when I started, we mainly worked with the code itself or Excel sheets. And then there were the first CAD tools that could be used for software localization. Back then it was a lot of phrase. Many companies used phrase back then. And actually right now most of my clients use Crowdin. And the software has improved so much. Like, we had to do those screenshot review rounds, and it would take weeks to check if the UI actually looked good. And now we got to a point where I can see the strings. I have the screenshot at hand if my client wants so, but if they want, they can really enhance us in that way. And I can look at the screenshot, and I can have the Figma link and see all the screenshots, get it translated. I even see a preview in my tool. And then within minutes, they can generate the German version of the screenshots, and I can at least limit those issues where we have truncated text or where the buttons just get too long, and these designers don't have to adapt that much.
And I can imagine that localization is often not on the top of developers and designers' minds in the development stage of the tool, right? So, Sarah, is there something that you wish that developers knew about localization? When they before it comes to you, is there something that could be done to facilitate localization process?
While Simona was talking, I wondered if I have the impression that my clients today are more knowledgeable about localization than a few years ago, because 10 years ago, it happened more often that I had something like, I think the worst thing was a software localization project where I had the entire UI in a Word file and ordered from A to Z, like the strings ordered from A to Z. No screenshots, no context, no TM, no term base, nor anything. I knew roughly what the tool is about, and I told them, well, I can try to do a translation, but it will more or less be an educated guess. And a lot will be very wrong in context. And they said, oh, but we don't mind. It will be in German. It will be fine. So I didn't really have that happen in recent years, that clients know so few about the context and about what's important. Now I have more who provide screenshots, provide context. Now I have a client who even gives us access to their apps and will send us the hardware device that comes with their app so that we can have it in hand and see what the screen looks like, see how big it is. So maybe that has changed a bit. But
Yeah,
I often feel that it would be good if there would be more knowledge, not only before the translation, but also afterwards when they implement it. So that they know what goes where, what they have to take care of, what will be different in different languages. Yeah.
Yeah, because I still see it so often in like quite big apps, you know, and or I've seen it recently also on a big website where just it clearly is a good translation, but just the design doesn't fit. So that's still, as you say, yeah, it's not done with the translation. The implementation afterwards is also important, right? Brilliant. Thank you so much. We are already coming to an end. We only have a very limited time left. I always like to finish these videos with a word of advice for people out there watching this video. So if you could tell me very briefly, Katrin, what would you tell a viewer that is watching this right now and would like to be in your shoes?
In my shoes, become a translator. Find your first clients. And think about what you like to do, but also think about where the money is. Where are the clients that who actually can pay for what you do for them? And find your area, whether it is software translation or something else, and keep track of what you do. Keep track of your time, of your money, of your word count, because when applying to other projects, they are going to ask from you, what have you done? How much have you done? And choose the subject that you know something about and that interests you, and be good at the communication, because this is what eventually builds trust. Don't aim for perfection, but aim for excellence. Provide good quality, but there is always also the time and the money. You have to find balance between time, money, quality, and do it respectfully and build trust. Very many words for new beginners.
Thank you very much. Brilliant. Simona?
Also, software-wise, I think you can practice like at any point of the day, because there's software localization everywhere. You can just keep your eyes open. As you say, sometimes you use a major app and you see those localization issues. That's how you learn. Like, that's how you see, oh, this button isn't properly translated. This button made me confused. This one really helped me out. So I think you can practice just by using the tools we use on a daily basis. And in general, don't set your aims, like your goals, too high. Just you can just say, I want to find one client. You'll find the other ones afterwards. You know, just go for one client. Say, this month I want to find one client. Yeah, it doesn't take much to keep one person busy. You know, and especially in the software localization industry. You have 2 or 3 clients and you're busy because they will come up again with updates and new articles and stuff. So you don't need that much to be busy. So just catch that client and I'm sure you'll have a good time.
Very nice. Thank you. And Sarah, to finish off the video.
My advice would be first to stay open, stay curious, and stay open for change, because especially in the software industry and in localization, there is so much that is changing, that is happening, and you have to be open to using new tools, to be open to observing what's happening with all the changes with AI, with learning about new things. I would also say that it's very important to network with colleagues, but also to go preferably to industry events, to read a lot, for example, industry magazines, to see what's happening in the IT world, and also to use software and apps yourself to know what you are translating about. Don't compromise on quality, because I'm observing at the moment that there are some clients who want to put the quality down, who want to do machine translation post-editing or use AI and only have you post-edited. And some people are discouraged by that. But I would say that especially in localization, there will always be clients who want and need quality. We were talking so much about context and how important it is to have all this background information. And there are things that AI cannot do, and where only humans can provide that quality. And I would not go down with the quality or go down with the prices too much instead of trying to find the clients who still need what you are offering.
Great. Brilliant. Thank you all so much for showing up today and sharing your wisdom. To all you people out there, make sure to reach out to the panelists today. All their links will be down in the description. I'm sure they are more than willing to help you and just chat with you about what they do every day. It's a really cool specialization. I actually, when I first started out, I was planning to go into it, and then for some weird reason took me another way, but I could always imagine working in software. So maybe one day I will combine this passion again with my profession. For now, that is it. Let me know in the comments which episode of Specialized you would like to see next. And I see you next Monday with the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.